Hey everyone, it's Brooke at SCS Vape. I wanted to do a short video of how to build a coil just because we've been selling a ton of these Kylin RTAs and I think it's important that y'all will have something to kind of reference back to. The essentials that you'll really need and that make building so much easier is definitely going to be a coil starter. And it's like a little coil jig. You can buy them online on eBay or you can go to freedomvapes.com. I bought mine online in a little kit, but it comes with a little jig where it has different sizes for the diameter of the coil that you're going to be building, and it just makes it so much easier. You'll need scissors, of course, cotton bacon, which is treated cotton specifically for vaping. You'll need some tweezers, some wire cutters, your RTA and your mod, and then some juice, of course, and then the wire itself. So for my wire, I chose a 20 gauge. The lower the gauge number, the bigger the wire is, and I prefer a little bit thicker wire because it heats up, and I do a lot of like cakey flavor, so I prefer it to be a little bit warmer when I vape on it. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get my Kylin. One of my favorite things I really love about this one is that it is actually a postless deck. So it makes building super duper easy. You don't have like any posts that you need to cut wires around or anything, so it just makes everything so much easier. Okay, so then I will start by getting my little coil jig, and if you look on the side, it has a little hole right there where you're actually going to thread your wire through. So you put it there and just kind of hold it with your thumb. And then you get the other part of the coil jig, and it has the hole for the actual stem of the jig, and then you just put it in there, and there's a little notch right here. That notch is going to actually grab onto the wire, so then you just spin it, and it literally just makes the coil for you. That, and then you literally just pull it off, and it has a perfect coil, perfect diameter, perfect wrap already done. So as far as your wraps go, the more wraps you have, the higher the resistance of the coil. So the lower wattage you're going to use, and in turn it's a little bit cooler and whenever you're vaping on it. So if you want something a little bit lower that you can run at a higher wattage, you would just do less wraps because it makes the resistance a lot lower. So the lower the resistance, the higher the wattage you would need, so the higher the power you would need to actually power it. I went ahead and made both sets. So now I have my pair of coils that I will use. I pre-clipped them to where they're not too long, but they may still be a little too long, but we'll find out whenever I put them on the deck. Whenever you get your Kylin, it comes with a lot of accessories. It comes with extra Delrin tips, it comes with an extra 2 milliliter glass, an extension for a 6 milliliter option, different O-rings, extra little O-rings for the inside of the tank where your juice is, and then it also comes with a mouthpiece adapter to make it a little bit smaller, and then it comes with extra screws for the deck, and then a key to actually tighten this little piece right here onto the top so it doesn't come apart whenever you open it to put juice into it. It's kind of like a little locking key, which is good. I'm going to grab the Allen that it comes with, and that's what I'm going to use to loosen the screws so we can go ahead and put the coils onto the deck. So on the side they have like little Allen screws right here, so I will just loosen all of those. So now they're loosened enough to where I can fit my wire inside of there. On this one you have your positive and your negative, so you're going to go this way vertically, and then it has nice airflow holes right underneath the coil, and then you're also going to have airflow holes on the side, so it gives you like maximum airflow, so you get a ton of flavor and a ton of vapor because of it. So once I have them both loosened, I'm going to go ahead and just drop the coils in like that. and they're obviously a lot taller than they need to be, so I'm just gonna clip them to where they need to be, to where they sit flush. Well, not flush, but a lot lower onto the deck. Okay, so I went ahead and put the coils on there, and this is what it looks like now. What you're really looking for, and the main thing, is that you want to make sure that they're parallel with each other, and then you also want to make sure that there's not any metal from the coil touching either the side of the deck, the bottom of the deck, or them touching each other. So now that I have them together, I'm going to go ahead and take my coil jig, and I'm just going to straighten them out. Like that. So now they're like pretty parallel with each other, and then they're pretty far away from the side of the deck and the bottom of the deck, so like once I actually have cotton in there, I don't have to worry about them touching. It can cause them to arc and they just won't heat up properly, or it can actually mess up your mod in some instances if it arcs like that, because it sends too much power and it can short out the mod itself, so you don't want that to happen. So it's really important to make sure that no other metal is touching. Once you have that, go ahead and get your mod, screw on your Kylin to the mod, and then go ahead and hit the fire button, see what your resistance is. This came down to a 0.13, so I can actually vape this one pretty high if I wanted to. But I'm going to go ahead and just turn it down a little bit to about 60 watts for now, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to pulse this coil. Right now it's not going to heat up together, and the heat isn't going to distribute evenly because the coils are new. So what you want to do is put it a little bit lower in wattage and just go ahead and pulse them, and you'll start to see them heat up. And you see how there's one part of the coil heating up, but not really the rest of the coil. So you're pulsing them just to get them to heat consistently. So I like to heat them up to where they're red. And then I will take my tweezers and I'll actually pull my coils apart a little bit. Okay, I have one coil that's done. Whenever you're heating it like that, you want to see them heat from the inside out, and that's good. This one over here isn't heating up quite as fast, and it could be that I didn't tighten it enough onto the deck. So it'll take a minute just to figure out exactly why it's not heating up right.